Welcome back, guys, off the mat with the Matburn crew. Coach George, Coach Adam, Coach Bob. So I think we are on episode 3, pretty sure. So we're going to talk about a couple good things. Clash of Spartans. We got a big tournament, Matt Return Fall Classic coming up. Adam's going to be participating with a bunch of guys from Matburn will be there, so we're excited to kind of get to see where they're at, where the weight cut is, how their strategy is going to be for come Sunday. We're going to talk about how wrestling leaks into our other aspects of our lives, the things that we do, obviously things that we've done, and the things that we're currently doing in the sport of wrestling, how that affects our lives and whomever else. We're going to talk about the World Team Trials. Great wrestling over the past weekend, and specifically we're going to focus on the older guys, Jordan Burroughs, David Taylor, those guys who are a little older. I mean, when we say older, mid-30s, wrestling those young guys and kind of see, how they did and, what we can learn from them as, all of us are most of us are well into our 30 or 40s, and how we continue to wrestle the longevity. And then we're definitely going to see Adam's infamous picture. So for anything, we just stay tuned for that because that's the highlight of the day. All right, so let's get to it. Clash of the Spartans. We got 6 matches. All 6 matches have been announced. We've got Scavelli brothers, myself, Adam will be competing, as well as some of the guys from the Matburn crew. We got some guys traveling. Mike 50 is coming from California. So, we got a bunch of guys. Dave, he's going to be traveling. He's from PA. He's coming down. So we're going to have a bunch of guys out there. And we're coming down. We're pretty excited about the matches and the idea. But let's talk to Bob here. You had a little bit of a call out to your brother earlier this week. How you feeling? We're gonna get John in. First of all, we'll get John in. So John, be prepared and don't be a baby about it. Come on the show. But how are you feeling about what are we almost in October? So we're about a month and change out.
Yeah, 2 months out. Feeling good, man. Feeling strong. Yeah, kick his ass, man. It was a good talking smack on him yesterday.
What do you think he's thinking right now?
I should probably get to the gym.
So, I mean, have you guys ever when you guys were younger? Like, did you guys ever wrestle at all?
No, not at all. No, he's 5 years younger than me. So we never really had that opportunity to roll around with each other, other than me beating the crap out of him growing up. And by the time he got to high school, I had already left.
Yeah, you're saying that.
Yeah, I was gone in the Navy.
So really, you guys haven't seen each other except for when he came down for practice a couple weeks back.
Yeah, he came a couple times.
Yeah. So okay, so it's gonna be kind of like a fresh opponent. Like you got no video on him. You only got a couple film for him too. Yeah. So I mean, what are you worrying about? Like, what's your strategy? Like, what are you thinking about? What are you gonna focus on? He has some. He's a little taller than you. He's a little longer than you. So
he's got a 2 or 3 inches on me. I think he'll say he's 6'1", but I think he's like 6. 6'6", 6.5". Yeah, he's got good shots. He's good on his feet for sure. He's got that real long reach. On the mat, it is a different story. I don't know. I think I can't give up anything, man.
All right, no, I'm just saying
my strategy.
No, I'm just hearing. Yeah, I'm just hearing where your head's at. All right, so
it was actually nice to roll around with him those couple times when he came to practice, because I was actually like, oh, he does this. Okay.
I started looking at it. I mean, who was I talking to? I think I was talking to Dustin this past Wednesday. It's like I spend so much time watching everybody wrestle and watching and just seeing how they could be beat. Doesn't mean I can beat them, but means how could they beat? What do they do differently? Are they reaching with their right foot? Are they reaching with their left foot? How many times are they stutter stepping?
Yeah.
And I was watching Dustin's video and I was like, hey, this is what you do. Work on this, that, and the other. But it's I spend an enormous amount of time, even when I'm not wrestling. I'm just sitting there just staring. When Cole came in, I'm just looking at his style, looking at what he does, and I just really enjoy. I enjoy that aspect of just watching and learning and just being all right, maybe when you get a feel for it, you can figure it out. The whole chess game, as I gotten older, I think I've enjoyed it more now. Yeah. And I wish I would have enjoyed it like this when I was younger.
Yeah.
I probably would have went farther. But now I really do. I mean, I enjoy the whole
Yeah, I'm the same way, man. I wish I had this mentality when I was younger. Now I'm just, I guess it's easy to say in hindsight. When you're young, you're just kind of like dumb
You're just
kid
doing it.
sometimes. Yeah, you're just doing it.
Now you're like being a tactician about it.
Yeah, I'm actually thinking stuff through now.
I think it's just fun too, and we keep talking about that, and we keep reiterating the same thing because it's like our main objective is longevity, having fun, and being creative. Longevity, because obviously, you know, most of us are not competing at like the high level.
Yeah.
You know, we're out there to have a good time, have fun, you know, keep that sport alive within us, and really just, you know, be active in the sport and being in fitness. To be creative, you know, most of us are, you know, 10, 20 years removed from when we really competed in wrestling. So
Or
it's,
more.
you know, or more.
40.
But it's like we can't do the same things that we did then. I mean, you might be able to, but you know, you got to change your style, learn new things, and adapt and move on. Otherwise, you're gonna be stale.
Sure, and you can't wrestle. I mean, I know I can't wrestle like I did when I was 17. Like just throwing my hips around and just being a wild man out there. I have to gotta think things through, and I'm learning moves that I'm identifying as like, oh, that's a good old man move. You know, it's not as risky as something I would do like when I was 17. It's sort of like, I don't want to say lower energy, but it's just smarter.
So it's more like I like to think about it like efficiency.
Yeah.
We got to be more efficient, and that's like one of the main things that when I'm teaching the adult classes, you know, and I always say it's like it's not a lazy move. It's just an efficient move.
Yeah, it's like when I tried the fireman's carry Bob. I'm not 16 anymore. And then just the dump. It was just a more efficient way to do it.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
All right, so we got the Scavelli boys going at it, which is going to be super great. We're super excited. It's the main event for November 9th. It's going to be a battle, and I'm pretty excited to see whose hand is raised because that's a year's worth of bragging rights. And you guys both coach for the Deffert Youth Program, so it's basically going to be a daily, weekly reminder of who won.
Well, more than that, like, he's my number 2.
That's even worse.
Yeah, man. He's the vice president. He's the number 2 guy.
So again, it'll be streamed live on Facebook and Instagram, and we have limited admissions available to come watch.
I'm excited.
So we're excited to kind of see that.
Yeah.
We have a couple more matches. I mean, we have myself and Gabe. We've got Adam and John, which is going to be a great match. They've actually faced each other already in Match of the Week, and they've been able to train with each other on a weekly basis. So they're super familiar with each other. But I really love what they're doing, though. I saw John really trying a whole bunch of new stuff.
I noticed John wrestles you different than he wrestles me, though. Definitely. Which means he'll wrestle me different come wrestling day for sure.
Yeah, I mean, I enjoy
him trying stuff with you that he doesn't do with me.
How old is John? He's in his...
John is 26. He's probably our young guy who's bringing the age down.
Yeah. So this is going to be interesting.
The age difference is big.
Cool.
Age difference is big.
This is cool, man.
But I feel like you didn't if you and you can go back and watch the match of the week of them too. It was a good match. I mean, it was only 1 minute rounds periods.
Yeah.
So it was super quick. This will be 1 minute 30 seconds. So you'll have a little more time to work. But I think from then on, both of you guys have really changed, not necessarily changed your styles, made some changes to help your style grow and give yourself a chance to produce more scoring. And I really saw it on Wednesday from both you and John, both on neutral and on bottom, which I thought was awesome because usually you kind of get tight, like you're facing it, you're going to be like, oh, you're A game, and then you don't really do much, but you guys are kind of going at it, which is pretty much what we want in general. But how do you feel, Adam, in terms of...
I feel this is going to be a good match. I'm looking forward to it. I got a lot of age on John. Yeah, he's a lot younger and stronger and faster than I am.
He's
but,
fast.
He's real fast.
Yeah.
But I've been paying attention to wrestling for a long time, so I got a lot more knowledge than he does. We'll see how
that's true, man. That's true. Knowledge goes a long way, especially when you're in those sticky situations. You don't panic. So I think I'm pretty excited for that match too. And then we got a bunch of great undercards. We got Dustin and Mike Fithian, who's going to be a good match.
This is going to be a great match. Yeah.
We got Mike Fithian, who actually, me and Mike were on the same team in high school for 2 years, so we know each other well. And he came down and trained for a little bit when he was doing Mile Wise with you. So, and I've known him for years. And so he's coming back from California specifically because he wanted in on this. And I love the style because Dustin has this pretty much a similar style as Mike in terms of they like to go singles, they like to work from the outside. They're both tough on top. So I'm excited to see how that goes for both of them. So that'll be exciting.
Dustin's solid
to see.
And Mike's solid too. I love the story that we all have here. Mike was living in Deptford for a little while, and he was coaching for us back in 2023. And so I met him first, and then after the season wrapped up, myself, him, and a few other coaches, we trained for a few weeks for Mala, and that was probably one of the most fun I've ever had with wrestling. It was such a great experience. It was like being on a team again. It was like just like high school, man. We were just grinding it out in the wrestling room, and then we all went to Malwa together, man. We all did the matches together. I learned a lot from him, rolling around with Mike, and I was really sad to see him go. He's like, "Oh yeah, I got to move to California for my job." I was like, "Oh, really, man? That sucks, dude." But then he sent you our way, and
he did.
And look what he created,
He
man.
did.
So honestly, like, yeah, Mike, this is kind of like Mike's doing it in a way, man.
Well, yeah, because initially when I came, I wanted to do this for a while. I talked to Mike.
Yeah,
Like, Mike, if I came to do this, you want to do something like this? He's like, yeah, definitely. Let me know. That was probably before we went to move to California.
Mm-hmm.
So like he already knew this was something that we were trying to get together.
Yeah.
Prior to the meeting, both of you guys. So yeah, Mike definitely is a big part of the Matburn family.
Yeah, but he made this happen. He made the connections happen.
Yeah, definitely.
Now you're at Deptford coaching with the kids too.
Yeah, that's thanks to Santino because he's a handful. But I digress. Mike actually called me a couple last week. He's super excited. He's just like he really couldn't wait. He's like, I'm super excited to come down there. I believe it's his birthday weekend too, so happy early birthday when he comes.
Word is you're gonna get possibly transferred back here, Nick.
Yeah. Hopefully that rolls through. It'd be pretty cool. But yeah, he's excited to come through. I think he's definitely excited about the match. I know he's working out there with some heavy hitters in California, so he's going to come prepared. And we, Dustin's obviously coming prepared as well. We'll get him ready, and it should be good. It's a pretty good scrap. I think everyone's going to be a good scrap. We got Dave. Man, Dave's last name, what was it? Pawlowski? Dave, if I messed up your name, I'm sorry. Pawlowski. And Senosian. That one I do know because I asked Mike. So I think it's going to be a good battle. They actually too train together, which I just love the dynamic. Because you ever go, like if you ever hear like the jiu-jitsu tournaments or whatever, and like if they say teammates versus teammate, they just say like they're not going to face each other.
Yeah.
Or in boxing or in MMA, they're like good friends. They're not facing each other. Wrestling's that one sport that like, yep, we're going to face each other down the line, and we're fine with it. You know what I mean? We're going to have to make the same adjustments. And mind you, this is a fun environment. This is nothing on the line or anything like that. But yeah, I think it's good. It's pretty cool to see, teammates kind of go at it because
it's sort of like a wrestle off.
It's tough. You see that person all the time, and I think that pushes the creativity. Like I can't do the same things. Like eventually you're going to get wind of what I'm trying to do. I think that's also the best part because I wrestle you guys a lot. So it's like I can't give you the same look over and over again. Because one, I'm not learning anything, and two, it's like you're eventually you figure it out.
Well, I don't know. The other day when we were doing our thing and you were doing your instruction, I told Dustin, I said, George gets me with that move every time. Every time, George gets
and one thing I do learn is it's really just, and this is again, I'm just gonna shout out to South Jersey and Jiu-Jitsu because they really just hone this stuff in. Is disguising it. It's disguising it, or the chain wrestling. Which we'll be going over next month. It's just we'll have a whole class of just chain wrestling. That's really where it is. It's just where you put that and when you put it and when you do it. But I think it's pretty fun. Who else we got on the card
Be a
here?
good match though.
We got Michael.
We got
Doherty versus Doc. Doherty, yeah. Yeah, this is brother though. I wish I would have known that you guys were brothers and you guys would have been the co-main event easy. I think this is a good match, actually.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if they've actually gone against each other like that. I know they've kind of drilled with each other, but I'm not sure if they've actually gone with each other like that. So I think that'll be a good avenue to see them go at it.
Great guys, solid wrestlers.
Yeah, so I'm excited for that too. So again, Clash of the Spartans, November 9th, 12 p.m. We'll be streaming that, and then interested in coming through.
You're in, buddy.
Oh, my own. Oh man, I wish I had a picture on So Gabe sent me something. You know, we text and we talk all the time. Mind you, me and Gabe are good buddies. You know, we may talk trash between now and then, but it's all love. But he sent me something on text, and I have it right here, so I put it down so I can see it to motivate me. It's basically saying, if he's like, oh, can George take me down? No. Can George keep me down? No. All these, they were all no's. So like I printed it out and I have it over here on my treadmill. I'm like, I look at it, it's like, man, it's just motivating me. So I was talking to him. He was just like, but you know, you haven't been out of the sport a while. It's like Gabe gives a good challenge in terms. Obviously, he's gonna be stronger than me. I know this. He's gonna be heavier, and he's very
25 pounds.
Give or take. I mean, he'll be lighter once he gets back, and I know he's training out there. Shout out to you, Gabe. But I was telling him, I was like, man, it takes a lot to get me up in the morning to be motivated. I'm like, you know, this match, like I'm motivated. Like I am motivated. He knows it, and he has a good challenge. Like his flexibility is a problem, and I told him, I was like, your flexibility is a problem.
So he's big, strong, and flexible.
He is super flexible.
Yes.
He has given me issues before when we rolled for a little bit. But yeah, I love it. I'm excited for it, and you know, I have my own strategy for him, and I know he has one for me. So it'll be a fun match. We both used to be captains of our high school team at the same time. So we were different types of captains.
Were you guys always about 20 pounds apart?
Yeah, he was 160 and I was 130, so that's about the same.
Okay.
We'd go each other. I practiced too every now and again.
Yeah.
So there was always like 3-4 of us, and 15 would be in that group too. He was a light guy. He was only 103, so he got the brunt of it. Yeah. But yeah, so again, Clashless Spartans. Pretty excited for that, and it's coming up soon. I mean, November will be here quick. You know, we're almost through September, and you know, October rolls around. So stay tuned for more on that. So let's talk about tournaments. We got Matt Return's Fall Classic on Sunday the 29th, so a week from today. And we got a bunch of guys from Matburn rolling through, so we're excited to see them compete and really just let it go and just, you know, have a good time out there. Specifically, we're super excited for Adam, who this will be his first folk style tournament. He got each tournament out of the way, so I mean, he got a little bit of a competitions, you know, the jitters or whatever that may be. How's it going? You know, how do you feel?
Excited.
Yeah?
Yeah, I'm really excited. Yeah, I just get out there and do it. Yeah. I've been working on my takedowns. I've been working on my bottom. You know, top is, you know, where I am with the top. You know, maintaining my weight. I'm wrestling 140. This morning I weighed in at 140.2, which so I'm right there. But I have to go to Texas this week, which makes me nervous because I like to eat in Texas. Texas has good food. So
Heavy.
So make sure to send us pictures of all the food you eat.
I'm gonna send you pictures of all the food I want to eat. But I don't know if I'll eat that much, but yeah. But no, I'm really excited about it. I can't wait to
You
do
gotta
it.
keep up with your workouts while you're out there.
Yeah, I bought a jump rope today.
That's
We're gonna
good.
be at the
I
hotel.
think you've been crushing in practice, man. You've been really working hard.
Yeah. I mean, we've seen, we've done a couple things to get them ready. $20 that are sitting right there, haven't moved since you put them there. And then you constantly move in. So I mean, you guys will never really see it. People who are practicing for us. It's really when we practice as coaches, and Bob can attest to this. I'm pretty much yelling at him. Like I'm pretty much yelling at him. Like, and I get mad. Like you can see in my voice. Like I get disappointed or frustrated because like I want him. I can see him get better, and I can see the gaps that are missing. So I think that alone has helped. Because you definitely see a difference in terms of what you're trying and what you're doing. So I'm excited to see that.
Yeah, I was gonna wrestle in Matt Return back in April when you wrestled, and I had a problem with my rib. I couldn't do it, and I thought I was ready then. I'm glad I didn't wrestle then because I definitely was not where I am now. You know.
Yeah.
So
yeah, it's exciting. Again, that's Matt Return Fall Classic, September 29th. Check it out and get a Matt Return on Facebook. They got all the information there. Still time to register.
Age divisions, right?
Yeah, so he'll be in the 45 Novers crew, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you know they're killers. I mean, if you make it to the age 45 and are still wrestling tournaments, you know, you're not going anywhere. You've been wrestling for a while. Either in your past or you're getting back into it. So one or the other. So that's exciting to kind of see that.
It's a huge accomplishment, man.
Oh, yeah.
At 56, you
Come through.
Dude,
and
it's huge, man.
wrestling. Yeah.
Good on you.
Well, I hope I get to wrestle in my weight class. I'd rather wrestle if it came to be like if there's no other 140s.
Yeah.
I'd rather wrestle down in age than up in weight.
Yeah.
Nah, you wrestle me and Bob.
Yeah. But
We're 20
there's something to be said with
heavier.
somebody that's at your own weight. Then if somebody's
20
45
to
and they're
30
still
pounds.
wrestling, chances are they're working out a lot. They're not just like a casual dude going on.
Yeah.
I remember you're borderline now. You're not really a casual dude anymore. You practice 2-3 times a week. I mean, at least twice, and you do fitness. So yeah, 2-3 times a week at this point.
Wrestling kids is tough, man.
I know.
Yeah, wrestling kids is.
It's tough, dude.
So what do you think your like strategy is going in? Like for me, are you visualizing what you're gonna do
Yeah.
when that whistle blows?
Yeah, there's certain shots I want to take, certain things I want to do, certain things that you've told me that I could do better that I want to focus on. Certain things on bottom and really in neutral position. Just the other day you told me something that I'm gonna say it on here.
You gotta say it on there. You gotta say it.
But you told me something.
The ones and ones of subscribers. He doesn't want to let the secret out.
Yeah.
It's for
But-
Patreon subscribers.
Yeah, we got 16, bro.
Yeah, but no, I'm really excited to be going.
Oh no! I mean, yeah. I mean, I know we talked about this a couple of episodes back. Is like, what is your goal? Like, is your goal really just focused on wins and losses, or is your goal focused on what you actually do in the match?
There's certain things that I want to do in the match. My first goal was to get registered and actually do this.
Get there. Yeah.
So that milestone's been reached now. I got to actually get there next Sunday, and there's certain moves I want to execute, certain things that I want to do, and certain points I want to get. Whether or not I win or lose the match isn't as important as the things I want to try and make sure I get them all.
Awesome. Yeah, I think I agree with that fully. I mean, I know wins and losses. Obviously, wins. You want to win. Everybody wants to win. But I think it's important to reach those goals that you have. Because you can't really, again, you have no control over that. So it's best to do that. Awesome. Yeah, I'm excited. I can't wait I'll be there coaching you on, and obviously we'll be taking video of all the guys there as much as we can. You going?
Yeah, I'll be there.
Oh, yeah. So me and Bob will be there mostly to coach and take video and stuff like that. Support the guys, and really just
It's cool to be part of a team again.
Yeah.
Yeah, we
Yeah,
are.
it's
We're
really
still
cool.
we're starting to build a team.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying, man. Well, we did Mala last year with all his coaches, man. It was cool. I'm really excited.
Where are all those coaches at besides Mike?
Yeah, they-
Where are you at, guys? Where are all you guys at? We all, Coach Mike, we know where you're at. You're making your way through, but I don't know who else was there.
Yeah, there's a couple guys. They unfortunately left the club, left the rec program. Hoping to get them back eventually. They're great guys.
So yeah,
Good
shout out.
coaches, great guys.
Open invitation to you
Yeah.
guys.
But but I'm excited to do this as a team, man. Go down with a squad, man. We have a team, man. It's
I think it'll grow. I think we have 3, 4, 5 guys come through. I think it'll grow. I didn't want to compete this time, so I wanted to watch you guys. But good things I wasn't gonna be able to compete anyway, just for like the injury stuff.
Now, last time Synosian was there, he registered as a Spaz wrestler. I think this time he's registered as a Matburn wrestler.
yeah.
Just,
So yeah, we got a couple guys out there, and I'm excited for Snowsy because I think he's really good, and I can give him a minor change into his shot. And man, I'm super excited to see him. I think he's just gonna blow through some of these guys
He's solid, man.
just by that one little tip I gave him, noticing because he gets in so good, and then he just doesn't finish 100% of the time. So I give him a little bit of a tip, and I'm super excited to see him just take people down at will. I think he's gonna see a difference, and I think he's gonna do real good. So I'm super excited for that, to see him go. I'm super excited for Adam and everybody else coming through. I know some guys who haven't been to Matburn in a while are going to be there. Some guys from Maple Glen, or Maple Shade, Maple Shade, they're going to be out there. So good luck to everybody who's going to be competing on Sunday. So I'm excited for that. So as we talk about, wrestling, when we do talk about a lot about wrestling, let's talk about how does wrestling leak over to other aspects of your life? Like, not necessarily the sport in general, but the characteristics or what you've gained from wrestling when you were young and now wrestling now as we're older adults.
The discipline, first
Discipline.
and foremost. Like right now, like making weight. I have to be disciplined to make weight, and I have to be disciplined to go to practice and do my training. Well, the same thing. Like at work, I'm very disciplined.
Yeah.
And like I set up outlines at work for things I have to do. The same way I set things up for when I'm like training the little kids. Like I have very specific outlines. Like they kind of mirror each other. Like really, my work life and even my private life and
Yeah.
wrestling is discipline probably number one.
I gotta agree with you on that one, Adam. Like discipline. For me, I recognize at this age, if I want to keep doing this, like I've got to be very disciplined with working out regularly, eating healthy most of the time, because that all comes into play. You can't just jump into wrestling after 20 years if you're not really, if you're not maintaining any kind of physical fitness and expect that you're just gonna, function the next day. Like you have to do something every single day. You have to have the discipline to wake up or whenever you work out, just to do your workout every day, to make the better choices for food. Because at this age, you've got to have, it's crucial to have the proper fuel in your body.
Yeah, it's the first thing I told you I wanted today.
What's it?
Donut.
Yeah. Yeah.
But also determination, discipline and determination, the two go together. Really,
Oh yeah. Grit. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Just like you can get away with being lax when you're a kid with your diet, but for me at this age, no. Like I'll be 40 in January, and I can physically feel the difference between garbage food and real food. It's a horrible feeling. And like, I don't know, I guess for me, like, once I recognize that feeling, like it makes it just easier to stay away from garbage food.
Also, when you work out a lot, your body craves good food too.
Yeah.
That's what I was trying to say before with
Yeah.
the salad that Dustin wants to see me make. Is it's like
It's coming, Dustin. It's coming. Really, I got you.
like a year ago, I probably would have been going to Five Guys, and not that there's anything I love Five Guys.
Yeah.
But
got
after wrestling, I crave things that are healthy.
You got your salad. I got my Bob's oily eggs.
Your Bob's oily eggs. But yeah, I mean, outside of, like, obviously you guys said discipline and nutrition, I think really honestly it's just facing someone that you've never seen, that you don't know anything about, and don't know their style, don't know how strong they are, don't know their experience, and just towing up the line, and just the whistle blows and you're finding out on the fly.
Yeah.
That right there, that feeling, that's what I've taken away. It's like whenever I have that feeling, like if I got to talk in front of a lot of people, or if I got to do a big old event or something along those lines, or even coaching with it's just that feeling is, I've recognized that feeling, and I'm not as nervous or scared as I would have been the first time that I felt that.
Yeah.
Mind you, I still get nervous when I compete, and it's there's good nerves. As soon as the whistle blows, it's done. Like it's go time. But I just feel like when you first feel that feeling, it's like super scary. It's like I remember when I did the Ironman for the first time, I was really nervous. Like, how am I gonna do all this? Like, I've never swam this long, I've never biked this long, I never did any of this long. Like, I was just super nervous, and it was just like, all right, well, it kind of felt like the same way of you just getting on the line with someone you've never even met, like seen before. And we've all done that when we were younger. Oh, that guy looks like he's my weight class. That guy looks big as hell. Blah blah blah. So I think that's really leaked over into my professional life
for sure. Yeah.
And I don't know, confidence. Yeah, I guess it's just that feeling of, I'm not as nervous. I'm not as scared of what's going to happen.
You just know you can do this.
You can go through it. Whatever happens, but I'm going to go through.
Right.
And I'm not going to pause.
Yeah.
So I think that is definitely like one of the biggest things that's leaked over to me. Outside of, I am disciplined. My nutrition's, it depends on what I'm doing. I can tell you now, between January and August or September, I'm pretty good. And then September through December, I'm like, hey, I'm eat whatever I want. And sometimes, last year, I got like 180. And I was like, oh, no, I went too far. So it was a little difficult to get back down to 160-ish. But yeah, so I think those things have always been good.
Well, like, to touch on that too, in the outside world too, like, to have that confidence to be able to handle yourself in a bad situation against some kind of bad actor. I think we touched on this before. I think it's important for men and women, but really to know how to interact with a hostile individual in your face, right, in the outside world, and try to cause you harm or whatnot. Just to know you have that confidence that you can handle yourself, And wrestling certainly teaches you that. I mean, because
It's in your face style.
it's in your face. It's aggressive, and if you've gone through many wrestling matches, you just get used to that hostility from people. You know,
Yeah.
it's a good thing to be able to take to the outside world.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be physical hostility either. Like people at work,
Verbal.
it's a hostile environment
verbal.
sometimes.
Oh yeah. I mean, 'cause
And
you just
yeah, like what George said, you're stepping out on the mat with somebody. You know, it's like changing jobs.
mm-hmm.
You know,
Yeah, you
you're
gotta-
starting
that's a good
something
point.
new. You got to take
Yeah.
a risk.
I think that's one thing that you just mentioned is risks. I wasn't much of a risk taker wrestling when I was younger. I was very conservative. Even now, I am conservative, but I feel like I've opened up more doing different things, and I think that's helped as well as doing like again, we talked about is it appropriate to fail in sports, and I think that's really helped too as well as like you gotta try.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
sometimes we get nervous about trying, so taking a big step, leap forward because of this, and this. It's like, hey, but if you have that confidence to
Yeah.
kind of just let's see where this goes, you'll
Yeah.
take that leap and not like think about what if I would have done that.
Yeah, you don't know what ifs are no good. You just got to do it. I read a good book recently called The Warrior Poet, and the premise of the book was a man needs to be both a warrior and a poet. He's got to have that dangerous side, and he's got to have the sensitive side. And if you're leaning to one side, you're going to have an imbalance, and you got to mesh the two. And the idea is that a man has to be dangerous to a certain extent, but be able to control that too. Like he's got to be able to turn it on and turn it off. And wrestling, and part of that book is you should do some kind of martial art. You have to put yourself in dangerous situations, and not to say like wrestling is dangerous or jiu-jitsu is dangerous, but it is in a sense. Like you're out there competing.
It's a combat sport.
Yeah, it's combat sport. Yeah, absolutely. And the idea is it's good for a grown man and women too, certainly, to willingly put themselves in controlled dangerous situations, so again they can handle themselves in unpredictable dangerous situations out in the world. And I mean that's one of the reasons why I'm continuing to do this too, just to maintain those skills.
And when you say controlled danger, I mean, you come out with bumps and bruises, but nobody really gets seriously injured
No.
wrestling ever.
No.
I mean, they have, but it's not as common as you would think.
Yeah.
Um,
Certainly,
with anything.
I know my daughter wrestled, plays softball. She got injured far worse playing softball than wrestling any given day, you
Get
know.
hit in the head with a ball, man, a baseball.
Yeah, concussions, all kinds of stuff.
Yeah,
happen.
and football, no way.
Speaking of that, did you guys hear that flag football is now a sport in high school?
I
I
did
heard
not hear
something
that.
about it.
Yeah, isn't that crazy?
I kind of think that's a good idea, actually.
Well, it's going to be in the Olympics, so I would
Is it
imagine.
really?
Yeah, it's going to be Olympics.
That's not a bad idea, man.
I actually like the flag football concept.
Yeah.
I think I'm going to get my kid, my small one, 5-year-old, to start it.
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of a crazy thing, man. Boom. Helmets boom. Over
In
and
terms
over,
of like
man.
actual
But
football.
that's
Yeah.
promoted
Yeah.
by the NFL. Flag football.
Flag football, yeah. Because there is a professional league too. Like I didn't know that either. But anyway, so I think those are good aspects in wrestling. We always talk about how it helped us, as kids do this, and this. But I think we, at this age, I mean, it still can help hone those skills in and just, dust the rust off of some of those
Yeah.
skills that we haven't seen in a
man.
while.
Yeah.
You remember that guy Anthony who came to beach wrestling, my friend?
Yeah.
He says everything's wrestling. Everything in life is wrestling. I know what he means. Like every situation he can turn and say, it's kind of like this in wrestling. It's kind of like that in wrestling.
Mm-hmm. Really helps in those high stress situations at work,
Yeah.
because you've been through a 6-minute wrestling match, the most intense thing you can really do, and then everything else kind of seems easy.
It's easy.
After that,
Yeah, Zach told me just yesterday. Zach's an MMA fighter. He wrestles, and he said 6 minutes in wrestling beats him far worse than 9 minutes in MMA.
I believe it. Oh yeah.
Far worse. He said, you're staying on your feet, you can take your time, get some
Yeah.
rest and stuff. He said, once you're wrestling, you're grappling. He said, using every muscle all the time.
Mm-hmm.
He said it kills.
Yeah, I believe that. Sure.
So let's talk about we talk about how wrestling kind of leaks into other parts of our lives. So I wanted to bring this up. Doesn't really have anything connected to this. Is we have the Clash of the Spartans coming up, and we're doing 90-second periods. What if we did 2 3-minute periods? That's freestyle.
Do it like freestyle or Greco, yeah.
That's freestyle right there.
We
2
score
3
it like
minutes.
freestyle?
Now you keep the folk style, but you have those 30 seconds in between for the next 3 minutes. Or do we do like a do we try to change the game at all?
Yo, 3-minute period? Are you crazy?
Yeah, Gabe the other day was saying that 1:15 was too little. He was ready for 2 minutes or whatnot. So he had me think. I was like, all right. So then we were like, I'm not talking 1:30.
I could see that. I could see 1:15 is not enough
It's
time
not enough.
to
But
accomplish.
1:30 is. You only added 15 seconds per period
45 seconds overall.
over the whole scheme of things.
Yeah.
But I mean, overall, doesn't really. Yeah, it'll do a dividend, but you're only having 15 seconds to. Now you add 3 minutes for one period. That's still 6 minutes you're going there.
You know, when we did beach wrestling, that was 1 3-minute period, and it didn't seem super long. Really.
So you're right, it didn't. But the only thing is that there was constant breaks.
Yes. Every time there was a takedown, you were.
But even so, it was so constant breaks that even if you got a takedown, you back up, and then you're hand fighting again.
Yeah.
At least for me, I was hand fighting a lot because I found it to be useful. What do you thought? 3 minutes? Do we do it? 2 minutes?
I don't know, man.
Let us know in the comments. You guys are down for changing the match scheme to being 2 periods of either 2 or 3 minutes each, or we stick to the 1:30.
I don't know, man. I think a 3-minute period sounds fucking grueling.
All right, so I said, what if we change it to 2 minutes? Two 2-minute periods. So you got 2 minutes, you go at it, you get a 30-second break, and then 2 minutes for the last period.
How are you gonna
Score it as a
how you gonna
whole.
do the choices?
No choice on your feet.
No choice. Just on your feet.
I would think, yeah.
You have to do a new choice on your feet. That changes the game. I guess that we'd be changing everything.
Yeah. Then it's almost
Because then it's
freestyle.
like, yeah. Because I like freestyle to a point. Because I like how it's like you push outs. I like the push outs. But then sometimes it's with the, some of the scoring, it gets a little wild.
Yeah.
It's subjective with takedowns and stuff.
Yeah. So I'm thinking right now, like a lot of people with the three periods in folk style. People plan their match accordingly, like how they're going to go out in the first period.
It's true, but
third period, and then what they're going to put out in the third.
yeah, but that doesn't matter. It's not like it goes by plan. As soon as you get in there, it doesn't mean it's going to happen the way you think.
That's true. Yeah.
But I would think the biggest obstacle would be the fact that you don't get to choose top or bottom. So
I think you need the top and bottom.
that's what I'm saying. Like
Yeah.
if you were to change that, then that would be the biggest obstacle. Is like you wouldn't get that
Yeah,
choice.
you're down by a point going in the third.
I don't think it makes a
period.
difference though.
You're going down. You're taking down.
Why? You got 3 points to take down. Why not go neutral?
What if you suck on your feet?
Then you're still only going to get up 1 point. You're still
Tie the match.
we still got to win
It's true.
unless you're going to get a reversal.
Yeah.
So I think the 3-point takedown.
It changes the game.
It definitely changed the
Yeah.
game. I think it's great. I think the college out of bounds is great too. When you get to the high school aspect, I think the 4 count, obviously for back points, that's huge for high school folk style. Not a fan of riding time in terms of the college game,
Yeah.
but I understand it. If you're good on top, man, hey, grind this guy out. But I think it eliminates some of the action if you have some guys that are just riding and not trying to score points. But
A good point made, though. I think they should be 90-second periods if we're going to stick with 3.
yeah, I think we are gonna stick with 3 minute 30.
Yeah.
Minute 30.
Minute 30. Nobody does minute 15.
Yeah, when you're out there competing, you're gonna be hoping that it's a minute 15, because you're gonna be exhausted after match 2.
It should be 15 seconds of stalling each period.
Hey, I was down. When they had the college out of bounds, my foot was in there, and I was just holding on, just wasting time until the ref's like, "All right, you gotta do something." But anyway, all right, so we're good for the 90-second periods, and that's fine. I do kind of want to. How jiu-jitsu has like a whole bunch of rule sets. How to score points, this, that, and the other. wrestling always has the same rule sets. And I think that's one of the things we talked about last time was how to make wrestling more into the mainstream. Maybe it is changing, like, the period set.
structure.
The structure, yeah.
Yeah.
Make it more entertaining. I mean, freestyle can be entertaining. If you got two guys that are going at it,
Well, that's why they made
Better
the change
fly.
to 2 3-minute periods. And way back when, so long ago, it's hard to remember. I could swear I had 3 periods in freestyle because I remember a top and a bottom. I know they're not there
Yeah.
anymore.
I mean, that would. I'm thinking like it would make it more exciting because I mean, you have a period where it's top and bottom, nothing could happen. Guy can't get out, and the top guy can't score, and you have an entire period of no action.
and I think that alone bores people. Like who wants to see that? If you're not, avid wrestler watcher, or you're not like into the sport like that. I know for me, sometimes I'm watching, it's just it gets stagnant. So it could be something to look at. Now, are they going to do it now?
Neutral.
They're gonna,
Just all
Now, if you had 2 3-minute periods, somebody takes somebody down, they're down. Do they stay on the mat the whole time, or at some point do they have to come back up on their feet?
I think from there you just let it ride so that you don't have to. I mean, you're still going to have that issue, unless you change it completely to freestyle. Then you don't have that issue because they're down. They give you 15 seconds, 20 seconds to do something, then they're getting you back up. But if you wanted to keep some kind of folk style essence to it, you'd have to let it ride out. So I think it's something to think about.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, you got me thinking here.
I think it's something to think about.
Yeah, so we completely eliminate referee's position and it's just straight neutral.
I mean,
Okay,
it's
so-
just like a freestyle SKA.
Yeah, so in this instance where guy gets taken down and they go out of balance, what then? How do you start the match? Top, bottom, or neutral again?
Yeah, I mean that would be the scenario. Is like, do you add the 1 point push out?
Mm-hmm.
If I push you out of bounds, I get a point on neutral.
Okay.
So I think it's a combination. Like I think we should, or not we, but the sport should start to add more essence of freestyle into folk style, and maybe not change complete folk style, but maybe to encourage scoring.
Well, you're saying this, but we could ourselves in our own personal.
No,
ways.
we could.
Thinking of-
Yeah, we could. I don't know if some people might not be happy with the changes that we make, but yeah, I definitely, because I'm talking about doing 2 rounds of wrestler versus a jiu-jitsu player.
I think that's a great idea. Yeah.
And I think we were going to do it.
Yeah.
We reached out to some schools, and so basically we want a pure wrestler against a pure jiu-jitsu guy, and they compete in 2 rounds, 3 minutes each. First round is strictly wrestling based on points, and say if they takedowns are 3, reversals are 2, escapes are 1, same thing. Pins are 6 points. Match ends.
Mm-hmm.
Jiu-jitsu, same thing. Takedowns, we'll do reversals, sweeps, things that will have the same point as submissions are 6 points. The whole match is scored as overall points. So you may be a great wrestler, but say you don't pin, and you go into jiu-jitsu action, you don't get subbed, so you could technically win it.
Yeah.
I'd like to see that, just to see who is the better grappler with the limited base. Because I mean, if you're not coming from a wrestling background, you're not going to be as good as a wrestler, and if you're not coming from a jiu-jitsu background, you're not going to be a great jiu-jitsu player, off the bat. So I think that's one of the things we're going to work on. I think November 13th. In November, we're having Joe Mazdan, black belt from South Jersey, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. He's going to come down to Matburn, do a clinic for us on Jiu-Jitsu for wrestlers. So we're starting to get our wrestlers prepared for those who may want to compete in that event. So keep your ears open for more information on that. So we're excited for that. All right, so let's talk World Team Trials. So I know you guys aren't as familiar with the World Team Trials, but I know you guys looked at it. Specifically, let's talk about Jordan Burroughs and David Taylor. So the reason why we're talking about these 2 guys is in the sport of wrestling, they're 33 and 36 respectively, but in the sport of wrestling, that's pretty much getting 33, you're pretty much at the end of your career. 36, you're beating Father Time in this sport. Because, I mean, you're looking at Jack Forrest, the Bassett brothers, they're 17 years old, sophomores in high school, and they're in the Olympic trials. They were just in the world trials. Blaze, who was 17, made it to the finals, the world trials. He's 17 too. So you being 36 or 33, wrestling some of these guys that are up and coming, super impressive. So, obviously Jordan Burroughs went up to 79 kilos. He won his spot. And then I believe David Taylor went up to 92 kilos, and he won his spot for the world team. What are we thinking? Like, what is it that they're doing that they're able to compete at this level, but really keep their body being competitive in their scheme of things? Obviously, you know, as we're all older than they are, but we're still trying to wrestle for longevity at a longer age. Like, what can we learn from them in terms of being able to do that as we get older?
Jordan Burroughs, I watched his match with you. He's definitely efficient. You know, he's got that school over in Collingswood, and so he's there all the time. You know, training, working out with the kids, probably trying all kinds of new stuff, showing them stuff. So that's his life. So he probably just knows more than those other guys, and he's just so well conditioned. I don't know, I'm just guessing.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I'm only 3 years older than he is, and it's just the fact that he's still out there at 36 at that level it's mind blowing. It's just incredibly impressive. I don't know what he does for his routines, but I would imagine he has a very rigorous routine regimen of just fitness, diet, and I would say probably a lot of time invested in recovery too, because that's what I noticed. Like, I mean, at this age, the recovery time sucks.
It does. You're right.
It's tough, man. You know,
and you got to pay more attention to it. Like,
you have to do things. There's a lot of things you have to do to get your muscles refreshed and recovered to go on to the next day. I imagine he's doing all kinds of ice baths and stuff like that.
Yeah,
you know, he's all kinds of.
I think one of the things I saw or really just noticed is that Jordan Burroughs did compete in Olympic trials as David Taylor. They both lost, but man, and it was at Penn State.
Mm-hmm.
Penn State just treated Jordan Burroughs with like disrespect. I know there was a situation in Matburn that the crowd didn't like. Mm-hmm. So Matburn is a young gun. You know, he's on the Penn State team. He's super good.
Yeah.
It got a little over, you know, emotional in terms of what they did on there, handsy, and the crowd kind of turned on him. But there was like individuals saying, "Yeah, your career's over," and at that point he didn't win. It was the first time he hadn't won. Mm-hmm. Like, you know, he wasn't going to the Olympics was his goal. So he was pretty distraught about it. Yeah. And then like after winning the world trials, they interviewed him, and he said like mentally, like it was like a moment where he could have been mentally broken. Mm-hmm. And instead of being broken in that situation, you know, he's like, no, he like rose the situation. Yeah. So I think it's like that aspect is, I think that's what keeps many people from returning to the sport at an older age. Mm-hmm. Is like, I can't do it. Like I'm mentally, like I'm physically, I just can't do it. Mm-hmm. And they have like this mental block, and then they just never come to the mats anymore. I know there's plenty of people on like, you know, I know I'm trying to get plenty of people come in. I'm too old. I'm too this. I'm too that. And we've had plenty of people come through Matburn, all kinds of experiences, all kinds of health ailments prior, and they've all been able to manage to participate to their expectations. Mm-hmm. So I think that's just a stigma, again, we'll continue to try to attack. But yeah, I think mentally, you got to be, I mean, to be able to do what those two guys are doing. Mm-hmm. I mean, David Taylor's now the head coach of Oklahoma State, which is one of the premier, probably top 5 college jobs you would ever want. Yeah. Maybe the top 3, to be honest with you, would be Penn State, Iowa, and Oklahoma State. I would say, for me personally, that would be the top 3. And Penn State, clearly, Kale's not going anywhere anytime soon. The Brand brothers aren't going they're older, but I don't see them going anywhere in the next 10 years. And John Smith just retired for David Taylor to take over. Mm-hmm. And John Smith's been there for, I don't know, damn near 30, 40 years right now. So to be able to do that, still have time to train we're not talking about, you know, over 35. We're talking about the cream of the crop, NCAA champions by the tons in each of the weight classes. Mm-hmm. And you got to go in there and beat, you know, 4 of them. Mm-hmm. I think that's like, yeah, it's crazy.
God, dude, it's so impressive, man. I would love to meet him one day. That'd be pretty cool. Like, he's right around the corner.
Yeah, I see him aboard the shore all the time.
Yeah, Jordan Burroughs, your open invitation to come on the podcast, come to Matburn, anytime you want. Just let us know.
Yeah, man, I would love to hear what he does to take care of himself. You know, pushing 40. Because I mean, 36, you're pushing 40, man.
Nah, you're not pushing 40.
Yes, you
36.
are.
Yeah, in the spring, yeah, for him, he's already pushing
Yeah,
30
just-
at that.
Yeah.
But he's not like 39. You're pushing 40.
No, I am about to be 40.
That's
Like,
pushing.
once-
You're almost there, but you're not there.
Once you get over 35, you're pushing 40.
No, I mean you're closer to 40 than you are 30. Yes, I'll give you that. But once you're not at the finish line if you can see the finish line.
Yeah, that's a good point.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You finished it when you look behind and see the finish line.
Yeah.
So you're not there. You see the 40 line, but you're not there.
Bob, I'm closer to 60 than I am to 50, and I
See?
still say I'm in my 50s.
There you go.
I hear you. Well, I'm still in my 30s.
You are. So yeah, I think there was a lot of good matches there. With them specifically was interesting, and just watching the matches, and I know Adam saw the matches really, the Jordan Burroughs and David Taylor ones. You do see the styles change. You see that they're not as like if you were to compare. Jordan Burroughs is different though, because this match Jordan Burroughs really looked like a vintage Jordan Burroughs with his doubles. I mean, he took 2 or 3 in that last match and really looked like a vintage Jordan Burroughs. David Taylor, on the other hand, looked like an older, more mature wrestler who was just being really efficient. Was just taking where his opportunities where they came from, and I really thought like that resonated because that's kind of like how, we're trying to do is just be efficient, take the opportunities when they arise. Obviously you want to take risks when you can, but you're not going to take anything that's unwanted because at this point, we're older and your energy, your tank isn't as full once you hit over the age of 35, 40. So yeah, I thought that was pretty cool to see that though we're not competing at any kind of the same level, but the wrestling does change regardless of what level you're at.
Oh yeah, I mean the one thing, George, that you said to us when we first started this, what was that, back in May? You started this back in May?
Yeah, April, May.
Yeah,
Yeah.
You said you got to forget about the wrestler
you are.
You
Used to be.
because you're the wrestler you are now. You got to let that go. And it
Yeah.
and
It's true.
yeah, man, it was like a nice wake up call from like, oh yeah, I can't imagine myself wrestling like I did when I was 17. It's not possible.
It's gone.
You
Yeah.
find different ways to do stuff that I've done
Yeah.
really a lot through you. Like the mat return the other day. I was trying to get Bob convinced. Oh, the thing that George showed me, it worked brilliantly.
What's
Yeah.
it called?
That was
What?
Oh,
we said
the
reverse
Colombian.
ankle pick. No, I changed the name to reverse ankle pick. I don't really know what the name is, but it is like a reverse because you're on the.
Columbia.
I'm not at that level.
It
Call
worked
my
brilliantly.
I ain't
It
called.
really. When I tried to practice, it didn't work. But I wrestled, it worked brilliantly.
So I try to show. I try to show. We try to show moves that obviously we're confident doing, but again things that we want to be creative, show different aspects. And I've been fortunate because now obviously I still do jiu-jitsu, and a lot of my wrestling is part of jiu-jitsu, and for the longest time I used to hate when people said, "Oh, he's a wrestler in jiu-jitsu," because you're trying to do a different sport, but you're kind of targeted as a wrestler. So for the longest time, it was like, I hate when people call me a wrestler when I'm really working hard on my jiu-jitsu. And it took me I don't know, a year, 2 years to just be like, you know what, I am a wrestler. Let me just use my wrestling to the best of my advantage in this other sport. And the moment that kind of happened, it was like, all right, I was able to kind of do more with my wrestling and be more of by no means am I the greatest person in that room. Never am I ever. But I know I'm a handful for a lot of people, regardless. And that's my goal is just, obviously me progress and know that I'm, able to do what I want to do. But wrestling has really just been a big bulk of that, and now we're teaching wrestling to adults. I'm trying to bring all the jiu-jitsu knowledge that I have and put it into some wrestling situations. So sometimes I'll just fly on my back and then I'll get stuck, but I'm gonna practice all right, well that didn't work, but some other things do work. So it's I'm constantly trying to combine the two, and I think that's just a pretty cool thing.
You ever forget what you're doing?
No, I always have a plan until the plan doesn't work.
You ever just bust out a jiu-jitsu move by accident? Oh shit, should have done that.
So sometimes, well, yes, because I want to try if it works. I think Adam pinned me a couple times on Sunday because I tried to do something and I just overcommitted and I got on my back and he just pinned me up. So it's just those things all right, well, that doesn't work, or I went too far, or it's just a learning process. Because the movements are similar in certain situations that you can kind of use what you want, but for the most part, sometimes I get caught. Like specifically, if they get me to my back, I tend right now not to go right to my stomach. I tend to fight more off my back, and I get caught sometimes because I wait too long.
Yeah.
So I've seen that being an issue.
Mm. You think like so I've never done jiu-jitsu or anything like that, but
We'll come to the Joe Mazden
I might-
seminar in November
I'm
because
gonna
he's going
be
to teach
there.
us a lot of great stuff.
I work at the
Joe, we're
club.
super excited to see you, man.
I'm excited for that. Yeah, I'm really looking forward to that. But my question was like, the top tier jiu-jitsu guys, are they wrestlers too?
So you know what? A lot of them are not, but they're really good wrestlers.
Okay.
Like, there's a couple guys that wrestled in college. Like I know Nicky Rod, who's a bigger guy. He wrestled a little bit in college, 1 or 2 years, but not for like a D1 school. But some of the world champions, man, no, they don't have a big red, but they're good wrestlers. Like,
Yeah.
They spend the time to learn the takedowns, and the thing is that in jiu-jitsu, it's like it's not. They don't have like they're not worried about being taken down.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Because if it gets to the ground, like that's the point. Like
yeah,
they're gonna. That's what someone want to get there. So it's like they're more upright.
Mm-hmm.
And if they get taken, like if you're shooting on them, there's a lot of subs they can get from there,
Yeah.
or they can work to their advantage. So I think that plays a little bit of a role.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't think if you put a jiu-jitsu person in a straight wrestling match against a wrestler who's good, I don't think it'll be very competitive for the most part. I mean,
It's interesting, yeah.
They did Gordon Ryan, who's probably the best no-gi jiu-jitsu player in forever, versus Pat Downey in wrestling, and Pat Downey absolutely, and did the same thing to Nicky Rod too. Like it's a different sport.
Right.
But there are some guys that are just really good
Yeah.
at wrestling too.
Look how many guys that we got from jiu-jitsu coming in to wrestle with us. I don't know if it's because they want to learn wrestling or get better at jiu-jitsu, but there's quite a few.
Yeah, I think it's more just handling the wrestlers. It is a different. It's a different feel because when you're a wrestler going into jiu-jitsu, you got good takedowns.
Yeah.
But your defense on subs aren't great. But once you hone all that in, it can be a hassle.
Oh yeah.
So to deal with them and not getting in bad positions, I think that's an avenue where they may want to work on or whatever.
In terms of like,
and just learn new takedowns because I think that's the best thing too. Is in wrestling, you have a lot of good takedowns, different styles, different things you can do.
Yeah.
Same with jiu-jitsu, so if you can combine the two together,
Mm-hmm.
it doesn't hurt.
Yeah. You see, I'm thinking too, like in terms of like an actual like MMA fighter, like having wrestling as your base. I think that takes you a long way. Like you start wrestling, and then you branch out to different disciplines, boxing, kickboxing, whatnot.
Yeah, a lot of the UFC fighter champions are from Dagestan. They're big in wrestling there, so it does play a role. I think George St. Pierre is one of the best MMA fighters of all time, and that not necessarily was I think he was a karate background, but he was a really good wrestler. Like he would train with the Olympic team of Canada and whatnot. So I think having wrestling as a background is definitely.
I always thought like a wrestling boxing combination is a pretty sick combo. Pretty nasty.
For the most part, yeah.
Yeah. I know you saw Zach's fight. I don't know if you saw Zach's fight, but Zach took that guy down solidly several times. Once he would get that guy down, that guy couldn't do anything.
Mm-hmm.
All that guy could do was fight on his feet.
Yeah.
So MMA is a whole different animal. Respect to all them. Shout out to Torrance who won his second professional fight. Congrats, bro. He's an animal. I grapple. I'm like his rest round. He is going to be a beast, or he is a beast. So congrats to you, man. So yeah, I think with the World Team Trials, it's definitely some good wrestling. I like to watch it a lot just to learn what new guys are doing, things of that nature. Because we take a lot of that stuff and try to teach our guys as well. I think it's just a good way to make sure that we're on par with everything that's new that's coming out, or the old man moves. They pop out every now and then. All right, so let's show. I know you guys all been waiting for this. We wanted to show you what Adam looked like. How old were you, Adam?
I was 19.
19.
It was 1987. This picture.
I was 5.
I was 19.
I was 2.
And
You ready?
this is what Adam looked like in 1987.
That one there.
Adam is the one on what, the left?
The left side.
The
Yeah.
left, the shorter one, right?
Yeah.
This is in his heyday. So I know a lot of you guys have been asking, what did Adam look like with his long locks?
That is real hair.
That was real. Oh yeah, that's totally real.
All real, all natural. There's no like AI or wigs or nothing
No.
like that. This is all him.
I was
love it.
pretty strong then too. Though, I guess.
Yeah, I'm gonna save this, make a sticker.
So yeah, this is what Adam used to look like. Was this pre-wrestling or
No, this is-
post-wrestling?
This is what I gave up wrestling to do.
This is what he gave up
This-
wrestling.
I
Did you
wrestled
have like a
six-
name? What was your like?
No, my name was just my name.
What's your name?
Yes,
Oh,
because
okay.
I had a pretty cool stage name.
What was your stage name?
Well, Adam Paul. I mean, yeah.
Oh, Adam.
Yeah,
You do have, that is a good
Yeah,
name.
it's a good name.
That is a good name.
But like, yeah, I wrestled so long, and when I was
Because
in
you
high
were
school,
19.
I hated the coach. My high school coach. I couldn't stand the coach, and
What's your coach today? He's still alive.
I don't know.
No, all right.
I don't know if he is.
He,
I didn't
does,
like-
he didn't like his coach. It's a strong word.
cares?
He didn't like his coach.
No. Nobody knows who it is, except for anybody who knows me from the team. But I had wrestled so long. Now I really wasn't happy with the high school coach at the time, and you had to have short hair. I mean, we had to have short hair.
Oh, that was the thing. I remember that. Yeah,
Yeah,
you had that. You
and-
couldn't have like over your ears.
And yeah, oh yeah, had to be
Yeah.
like my hair is now. I mean, that's how it had
Right.
to be. And yeah, I wanted to do something else. I wanted to play music, and I wasn't allowed to have long hair and wrestle at the same time. So I went to that. I mean, my life went okay. It went in a good direction. So I guess I made the right choice at the time. I always wondered what would happen if I kept it wrestling. So here I am.
How many years were you in the band?
Up until about a month ago.
Same band?
Not with the same guy. I was
Same
playing with the
guy?
Same guy.
Look at
I've known that
Really?
guy since middle school. Yeah.
Look at that.
Really?
Look at that.
Yeah, in fact, yeah, me and him and his brother and another guy, we'd all known each other since middle school, and we've been playing together like for the past 10
That was
years.
the band you left, the same one. I didn't realize that.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, this was a different
crazy.
band, but same guy. We've been in a lot of bands together.
1987.
A little bit ago. That's a couple years back. Couple years back.
That's right.
Cover now.
But now you guys know. This is what Adam used to look like when he was a rocker at 19 years old. Man, that's pretty dope.
What were your influences? I mean, I can guess, but like,
Well, I really liked Randy Rhoads a lot.
who's that?
Randy Rhoads, he played with Ozzy.
Oh, okay.
Eddie Van Halen.
Okay.
Neil Sean from Journey. My dad worked with Journey, so
Okay.
I got some guitar lessons from Neil Sean.
That's a really good question. If you had to put your wrestling to a genre of music, what would it be?
Oh man.
Your style wrestling to the genre of music.
Heavy metal.
Yeah?
Yeah, heavy.
I know, that's a good one. I don't know.
Dude, you hear the shit I play, man.
Yeah, but it has to be like how you wrestle. So put in the comments, if you had to attach your style of wrestling to a genre of music, what would it be? Put it down in the comments. Would it be like country, I don't know, R&B, rap, or whatever it may be? Alternative.
Heavy
metal.
metal or some
I'm
sort
all
of
over the
punk or
place.
something, yeah. Kind of a little sloppy, maybe.
All right, so describe. All right, so let's see if we can narrow down yours. Describe your wrestling style in 3 words.
Right now, I mean,
Yeah, right now, current wrestling status.
I would say laid back.
Laid back. All right, that's fine.
I would say laid back, man.
All right,
Yeah.
what else?
Uh,
I mean, think about it. Are you high pace? Are you creative? Are you, high gas tank, high energy? Like what? We got laid back. We got one. All right, so you're like you elevator music.
collective soul.
You collective soul.
Yeah,
All right,
nice,
cool,
nice steady
collect-
alternative.
All right, steady alternative.
Nice
We'll
steady
take that.
alternative,
All right,
yeah.
I like it. I like it. All right, what about you, Adam? 3 things. 2 or 3 words.
The things that I'm working on, though, like, because it had been so long, I was pretty sloppy. For a
No, you're
while.
talking about right now. Right
Yeah,
now. You're
but,
wrestling right now.
I'm not as sloppy. I've gotten better. I'm getting more aggressive.
So you're going aggressive. Okay, we'll go aggressive.
So I was kind of defensive. Yes, I'm
So
trying to get more-
defensive, aggressively
I'm trying-
defensive.
Yeah, well, no, I was very defensive. Now I'm
Alright.
trying to be more aggressive, right?
Yeah, but you're the characters of your wrestling style now. So you're saying aggressive, defensive, and give me another one. You're probably right. It probably matches up with heavy metal.
I want to say it's a little sloppy.
Sloppy.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm gonna say it's a little sloppy. Yeah, I'm getting better, but yeah,
All right.
you've been yelling at me a lot, and I'm getting better. Now
I didn't yell at you on Wednesday.
It's because I'm paying attention. I don't want to give up $20 every time I talk about
If anybody's keeping count for the $20, he's only given up $20, so he has been doing really good. He hasn't even come close.
You tried baiting me.
No, I did try beating, and I won. I got that one too. Or no, it came close. It came close.
No, yeah.
It came close. He almost went for it. I almost got $20 off that. But he's done good. All right, so we're going sloppy, aggressive, and defensive. So I mean, it could be like heavy metal. It's pretty funny.
You know, when, like I'm saying, like so I'm thinking like in practice, I'm pretty laid back, right?
Yeah.
But you know, when I did my tournament, you could put like some kind of like bar brawl music to it.
Bar brawl music. You just changed the mood.
Oh yeah.
Yes, you know what the one thing is that I did a really good job the past two junior tournaments. Is just going in with like a smile and just relaxed.
Yeah.
Like,
oh yeah. I know exactly what you're saying.
I was just like, hey, what's up? And like smiling and just like, all right, let's let it fly.
Yeah, man. You have to. I was laughing at myself, man.
And I'm
like,
just
what
like,
are you here wrestling these 20-year-olds for? What are you doing? It's just like,
just having a good time. Like, and even like some of the tournaments, it's like your opponents or whatever, even the refs and stuff. I understand it. You guys were just out there having a good time, and like the more they're having fun, the more I'm having fun. It's just like I remember I was talking to the ref at the mat return, the other one in April, and I was like, he stopped, like my foot was in bounds. In college, out of bounds, your foot can be in bounds. He stopped it, and I'm like, dude, that was my whole game plan. What are you doing? And he just started cracking up, and I was just joking. So like stuff like that, just going out there and just having just like light, just fun.
But what's your music?
So I think I stick to my brand. My brand is just Spanish music, man. I just like to let it fly, just nice and relaxed. And then when I gotta go. And then just making the other person uncomfortable.
You're good at that.
Yeah.
You're really good at that.
It's just the strangest thing, though. I don't know why. Like, something like if you stay really still, it makes people so uncomfortable.
Yes, it does.
But you can't do it with everybody, but it does for some reason. And the way I come in, because I like grip, but like really soft to begin with.
Soft hands.
Yeah, like I try, like, you know, my grip's just like real soft, and it's just like, what is going on here?
But you're feeling shit out.
Well, yeah, there's a method to the madness, but yeah. So I would say, I stick to my brand, like the Spanish music, just, you know.
It's just salsa dancing around us.
Just having a good time and just, you know, doing that. So, I mean, I'm now, before it was more conservative, super conservative. But yeah, so I think that's pretty interesting. And we all stuck to the brand. I was just thinking that when you guys were talking about it, I wonder what kind of.
Yeah, I'm just like steady alternative.
Steady alternative. That's a good one, no. Steady alternative. Yeah, I think that's because I think it's just gonna be fun, like just, you know, instead of being all like.
You know, the one time I was playing Collector Soul in the room, and you guys were all complaining. I think it was Dustin. He's like, man, you know, it's great and all, but like, I listen to this when I'm like having beers on my boat.
Well, that's the thing. The thing is, I don't know half the music because I didn't listen to like all this music when I was growing up. All I listened to was a lot of Spanish music. So when you guys are putting music on, unless it's like something that's like, yeah, I should definitely 100,000% know. This is the first time you hear it.
I've always been that guy. It's just like everybody's like, dude, what are you listening to? Turn that shit off.
Yeah, you got to stay tuned for the next episode. I'm gonna play his brother's part of his brother's probably theme entrance song. That this song I have never heard in my life, and I don't even know how he even figured this song existed. What is it? Is it called Big John?
Big Bad John.
Big Bad John.
Big
No, you can't. Don't give it away. Don't give it away. Maybe we'll put it in the beginning of the intro of the next episode, or maybe if he comes through, we'll have it playing as he comes into the garage studio. But yeah, that's a song that I just never even knew existed until he told me this.
It's an old song, man.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure.
I knew this song.
Did you really?
Yeah, I knew this song.
If you guys have heard, if you've heard this song without like checking it out on YouTube or whatever, let me know in the comments.
Listen to it every morning.
And how did you hear about this song?
Getting ready for work. Like
he just puts it on. It's his go-to song, all right? Hey man, everyone's gotta get motivated. Anything else on the song? Are we good?
I
think we're good, guys. I think the fitness classes.
Hammering the fitness classes, man. I think we're doing really well with those classes. Yeah, I think everybody's liking them so far.
Yeah, come out.
I was talking to my dad about the fitness class on the way here actually, and how it's so different from something you get like going to a gym, right? It's I thought it was like something that boxers would do or something. Really, it's a different kind of workout, but it's not like so extreme that like you have to be like in super shape to do it. I mean, you get in shape.
It's fun too.
It's fun, yeah.
You got to keep it like engaging and fun, you know. Just like, you know, just like I never really worked out in a traditional gym setting ever. The only time I did that was when I was deployed on the ship for 6 months, and that's because there was nothing else to do. So in your free time, you just go down to the gym and you're just busting out the reps, you know, bench press or whatever, you know, machine or.
That was always
very
boring
traditional.
to me.
Yeah, that's what it was. It was boring for me, and then the way that the circuit's been running, this is how I've been working out for like 5 years now. Just all kinds of weird things and just.
Yeah, no, they're great exercises, and you run it great, and you time everything perfectly.
Yeah, it's so far so good with that, man. So, I mean, again, if you're on the fence, come out and check it out. We got one more free class, right?
Yeah,
Saturday. One more free class this Saturday. And after that, going forward, just $10 drop in. They can save for the open mat, right?
Yeah, if you come for the finish, the open mat's included, so you know, double bonus.
$10 for an hour and a half. I mean,
for 2 classes. So.
You can't beat that, you know.
But yeah, so I mean, we're excited for to continue that. Obviously, offer the open mats on Saturdays as well. That's a good opportunity for guys that want to get some more mat time in, come through. We're always there to help in any way we can, if it's technique or if it's you need some guys to roll around with, and plenty of guys or gals who come through. So we're excited to continue to offer that.
There's certain people that keep coming back, and they have like their little round robin thing where they come every week. And they know what they want to do, and they got their own little timer going.
Yeah, so. The open mats are fantastic. You come in, you work on whatever you want, and we're all learning from each other too. That's one of the greatest things about that room is everyone in that room has something to offer.
Yep.
Whether that be for wrestling or working out or just life in general.
Yeah.
Networking, man. I'm really learning a lot from these guys that are rolling through.
Yeah, I think that's really a good point, because if you don't always want to be the best in the room, because you're not going to learn anything. And for example, I'm hardly ever, if at all, the best in the room, because you want to make sure you're going with guys who can teach you. And they don't even have to be better than you. You can learn from somebody who just started that day, but they see a different perspective that you may have not seen, which is awesome. Like, that's one of the things I enjoy so much about both sports, wrestling and jiu-jitsu, is that, it could be somebody who just walked in and it's like, oh, guys, this is just a natural thing I did. Like, oh, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, everybody knows something that you don't know, or can do something you can't do.
Absolutely. It's such a great aspect of the room. And then we have wrestling season starting in about a month and a half now. So, I mean, this would be a great time if you're a coach. Come in, like, get your coaches together and come do a roll with us at Matburn. Fine-tune your skills. Work out what you're going to be teaching your kids throughout the season,
Yeah, we have quite a few youth league coaches coming down.
Yeah, a whole bunch of guys from Gloucester, Maple Shade, Pittman, Gateway.
And yeah, again, I think on our social media, we're always saying we're the party, we're the show. Well, we are, because I mean, we're just having a good time, and it's really just we go 40% most of the time. Now we've bumped it up a little bit because some guys are getting ready for a tournament, so we make sure to get them what they need. But we're 40% because we want to promote obviously having fun, but creativity. And I think that's one of the avenues that really is just people continue to have that stigma. Wrestling's like super crazy. It's like, oh, we're banging each other, or hitting, getting hard and doing all this crazy stuff because we're trying to win a spot or something like that. And that's not the case. But yeah, come check us out. We have class on Wednesdays at 7. We have the fitness class on Saturdays at 10:30, and then we have the open mat, which is on Saturdays at 11. This upcoming Wednesday, we'll have open mat. So we'll have 2 open mats, Wednesday and Saturday for this week. So we're excited to check us out if you can make the time, spread the word. And yeah, obviously wrestling season's starting. So even for parents, it'd be great to you guys to come out and kind of see, the sport that your child is playing or participating in. because it's always good to kind of get a feel of, you know, what they're kind of going through, because it's better, you're able to better relate and enjoy the sport a little bit more with your child. At least I feel. Again, you know, we're thinking about
You got
having
a kid that's brand new to the sport and
Yeah.
you know nothing about it. It's very alien. It's not like, you know how a football game works. You know how a baseball game works, or soccer match, whatnot. Like, if you don't know anything about wrestling and your kid's just starting it, like, you're gonna be really lost for a while. And this is a great way, like you said, to come in.
Yeah. And what's nice too is for the kids that are coming back and all, and parents, is we have this thing we're doing on November 9th, right at the very beginning when everyone's starting. All the kids can come and actually see their coaches wrestle, which is pretty cool.
Yeah.
See Coach George in a singlet.
Oh, I'm not rocking singlets. All right, here's our last question here. Is there an age where you can no longer wear a singlet? And if you say yes, what's the age? I say yes, and it was age 25. After the age of 25, it was straight up two-piece, and I'm rocking two-piece in my 40s. You know, these guys are going singlets.
Yeah.
Correct?
Yeah, man.
Yeah, I'm going.
All right, so are you pro singlet or are you pro two-piece over the age of 35? Fair enough?
That's fair.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
If you're under 35, you can decide what you want to do. But as soon as you're over 35, then this is what we're talking, over 35. All right, so let us know in the comments, figure out who's the majority. Are you pro singlets or pro two-piece? Which I feel like I am the minority. And I feel like most of the guys who are at Matburn and who are competing are going singlets.
What
Not
do most
all.
people order? Singlets?
I think there's more singlets
Yeah.
than two pieces.
Yeah, I know John ordered a two-piece, but at Matt return, yeah, this is two-piece.
That's
Is going to be it, so it's probably gonna
So
have to
yeah,
be
let us
singlet.
know.
Okay.
But I'm waiting to see Bob in his singlet with the Olympic-style singlet with the polo shirt.
Ah, yeah, that's when I'm going to practice every time, man.
Yeah, we got to do
When
like
you
a
practice
wear
uniform.
your old singlet to practice. This is one of those days. All right, guys, I think we're good for this week. Stay tuned. Next episode, I think we're gonna have some footage of a day in the life of all three of us, kind of condensed in, you know, a quick summary and quick videos throughout the time. It'd be good to see what we all do just to keep in shape and, you know, keep active even outside of wrestling. So that'd be pretty cool. And then again, Clash of the Spartans, November 9th. It's going to be some great wrestling. It's going to be a good time, fun atmosphere, and just show, you know, the world that, you know, you can wrestle as a hobby as you're an adult, just like you can do any other sport.
Completely free, too.
Completely free. I mean, so watch it through stream, or, you know, if you have an interest in attending, let us know. Reach out to us, and we can see if we can make that happen. Any last words?
Nope. Doing good, man.
All right, guys. See you next time.
Okay.